So seeing as you seem to enjoy the last video like this, I thought why not do it again. In today's video, I'm going to share 20 more hidden details in video games that you may have missed. Here on this channel, I share some of the best Easter eggs and hidden details found in video games, both new and old, and I record everything myself. That's no AI and no stealing content from smaller creators. I actually do the bare minimum for a gaming channel, and that's actually play the games myself. If that sounds like something that you might be interested in, maybe click subscribe. Remember to scan the QR code on screen or check the link in the description to get your gamer subs, and without further delay, let's get started. Right, let's begin today's video with one of the games of all time. And that game is Garfield Kart. Now, even masterpieces like Garfield Kart didn't just appear from the heavens to bless us with cat-themed go-karting action. Every game, regardless of how bad it is, has at least one person behind it that was pulling the strings. Well, I say person. Some games are created by man's best friend. If you watch the Garfield Kart credits for long enough, this will happen. So it appears that the mastermind behind Garfield Kart is Odie the dog. I'm sure that Garfield is over the moon. Now, the main job of an NPC is to look busy. That's it. Unless they're part of a quest or something, they simply exist so that you're not the only person wandering around. Most NPCs will have a set amount of things to do and then just repeatedly loop those things over and over again. For the most part, that rule applies to Doom 3, where we can find this chap typing away on his very low resolution keyboard. Now, it's pretty impressive that his typing is being shown on screen, but if you keep watching him, eventually this will happen. So if you stand over the man's shoulder, he will eventually add a report detailing your very strange behaviour. It's brilliant. Now, if you've ever played a game before, and if you're watching this, I'll take it that you have, then you'll have probably tried shooting someone or something that you're really not supposed to. You know, just to see what happens. Well, in the Family Guy PS2 game, just before a death-defying platform section, you meet the man himself. Of course, death is dead, but if you try shooting him, he will have several funny lines of dialogue.
You can't kill death, moron! Oh, you got me! This is the big one! But seriously, come on. You shoot like a girl! Yeah, lots of luck, kid. I'm death. What's next, a wedgie? Hello? I'm like, death?
I know that some modern games do things like this too, but this kind of detail always reminds me of the PS2 era. I don't know why, it just does. So every time that you read the description of an item in a game, someone somewhere was responsible for writing that description. When you consider that some games have hundreds, if not thousands of items to describe, you can imagine how boring it must be. Well, in the Eggcellent Donut County, there aren't quite 1,000 items, but there are a lot. The descriptions are all pretty funny, but as you get close to the end, the reality of having no more descriptions to write hits hard for this particular person. I love things like this. It's something that you can only see after completing the game, so it's sort of like a secret reward for dedicated players. Now, if I asked you to describe James Bond, you might say suave, sophisticated, charming, or incredibly skilled at jumping over dangerous reptiles. Well, even if you didn't say any of those things, I'm betting that none of you said great dancer. Here's the thing, that's where you'd be wrong. In 2010's GoldenEye 007 Reloaded, if you leave Bond idle on the dance floor, he will bob his head to the music. Now, killing enemies in games can vary wildly. Some enemies will react to exactly where you shoot them, and some enemies will just fall to the floor. which is always disappointing. However, sometimes killing an enemy may result in something much more painful than just a bullet. In the brilliant TimeSplitters Future Perfect, shooting a certain guard will cause this to happen. So not only was the guard shot, but he then landed on his meat and two veg before falling presumably to his death. As far as deaths go, this has to be one of the more embarrassing ways to meet your maker. Now, video game cheats are pretty much a thing of the past, but there was a time that not only did games let you cheat, but they also let you know that they knew you cheated. In Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, you could use the console to give yourself 50 experience points, right at the beginning of the game. This is obviously a pretty big boost, and the first NPC that you encounter will definitely notice.
I'd be pissed if this wasn't so cute. Look at you trying so hard. It's absolutely precious. Yeah, whenever you're done, sweet cheeks, we can move this show along.
So after being rumbled for cheating, you'll be sent back to the main menu to create a new character. However, if you tell your judgmental friend that you're using a mod and you want to continue, he will allow it, which is nice of him. Next up is Half-Life Opposing Force, which doesn't see you in the glasses of Gordon Freeman and instead lets you play as the people trying to stop him. Now, of course, you don't actually get to stop Freeman, because that means there'd be no Half-Life 2. Well, that's not entirely true. You see, there is a part in the game where you can watch as Freeman jumps into a portal where he's taken to the planet Zen. Well, if you're really, really quick, you can join Freeman, but it won't end well. Oh yeah! So you'll die because you tried to create a temporal paradox, which basically means that in the events of Half-Life 1, an overeager soldier didn't join Freeman on Zen. Now, you might think that the fatalities seen in the Mortal Kombat series are just mindless gore fests meant to shock you rather than impress. And I mean, for the most part, that's true. Sometimes though, a fatality does give you the gore you expect, but it can also impress you in other ways. One of Ghostface's fatalities is this.
Surprise! No!
So the image of Ghostface in Peacemaker's eye is not only a really cool visual, but it's a reference to this scene from Scream 1. Like I said, it's a cool visual, but how would it work on a character who has no eyes? Well, let's find out.
Surprise!
No! So, thanks to Kenshi's heightened senses, he can see who is about to kill him. I've said before that it would have been really funny if the game just zoomed in on his blindfold, but this is still really cool. Now, whenever a developer lets you name yourself, they're always playing with fire. Sure, you might be the mature type and name your character after yourself or something else entirely inoffensive, but there's always the other option. In You Don't Know Jack, if you take the more immature, but admittedly more funny approach and name yourself something that YouTube doesn't like, then this will happen.
Player one, you think you're real funny, don't you? F me? F you. I'm taking away $1,000. Player one, okay, telling me to f myself once is one thing, but twice? Hey, guess what? Minus 50,000. No, you know what? Not enough. Minus 50,001. That's how you're starting. Minus 50,001. Player one? Okay, look, I'm not just gonna be repeatedly told to f myself. So, tell you what I'm gonna do. You're getting a goat. Yeah, that's it. Game over. Here's a goat. Enjoy.
So after trying to ignore your rude behaviour, the game's host will finally lose it and give you a go and no other option but to leave the game, which is probably the least you deserve. Now, this next detail isn't actually found in the game, but in the patch notes instead. On the PlayStation 5, you can easily see what updates a game has got by checking the update history. Okay, PC players, I know you've had this for ages, but I'm pretty sure that to this day there is no way for Xbox players to check this on their console. Anyway, when looking through the patch notes, everything seems normal. But if we take a look at the title of these notes, we can see that they're called porch notes. You know, because cats have paws. I love it. Now, Fallen Aces is a game that can be played in multiple different ways. You can go in guns blazing, play things more stealthily, or do a chaotic mix of the two. Personally, I'm more of a stealth kind of guy, but there is a moment in the game that I kind of wish that someone knew I was there. If you head to the nightclub toilet, you can find a man having the mother of all battles. Oh, and this does go on for some time. Hey, we've all been there. But I'll try and trim it down as much as possible. If you want to skip it entirely, go to the time on screen.
Finally. Been holding this in forever. Alright, here it goes. Oh, yeah. Come on. Oh, I can't wait to see this in the toilet. Oh, man. It keeps going. Jeez Louise. Must have been diesel. Uh-oh. No, not now. No, come on. No. Oh, Mother of God! Oh, God! Oh, no! Oh, not today! All right. Calm down. Okay. Shit. I think I need to flush. It's starting to fill the bowl. I can feel it coming up against me. God, why don't they make these damn things bigger? Oh, look at that. That's beautiful. I'm a fucking ace. No, wait. Oh, God, I didn't expect it. Oh, thank God the boss started giving me longer breaks. All right. Come on, I know there's a little more in there. Let's see. Oh, I remember that one. Oh, that was a pretty good meal, I gotta be honest. Hey, somebody out there? Look, I'm just getting started. You're gonna want to come back later, pal. Oh, yeah, I'm just getting started. Oh.
Moving swiftly on, up next is Street Fighter Alpha 2. Now, when playing a fighting game, your attention is obviously on the fighters on screen, especially when they look like Chun-Li. Well, for this next detail, you need to pay attention to the background. If you take a look at this couple, they seem to be getting along just fine. However, when playing as a female character, like Chun-Li for example, this will happen. So the man will check out Chun-Li, which will cause his girlfriend to land a punch that Chun-Li would have been proud of. Now, High on Life was full of fourth wall breaking humour, and that's why I love it and can't wait for the sequel, especially as I'm interested to see if they try and one-up this next detail. When hunting down Douglas, he will make you complete training exercises before you get to him. After completing the first course, he will then say this.
Congratulations, shitheads! So you made it past the first training exercise. Big deal. That one was easy. We lied and said it was hard to scare you. Oh, it's fun to freak you out, to fuck with your heads. Now get ready for exercise 2. It starts in 1 hour. That's right, you have to wait a full hour. We're testing your resolve. So just stand there patiently and wait. Then this door will open and you can continue.
Okay, there's no way we're waiting a full hour.
So apparently we have to wait a whole hour, and not a video game hour, a real world hour. Now of course you don't have to wait the full hour, and it's pretty easy to find a way out, you just use the nearby vent. But if you have the time, you can wait, which will trigger some very funny dialogue.
Alright, that was 15 minutes. Good work so far. You're really proving your endurance. Just keep sitting here waiting. That's the only thing you can do here. No other options. Wow, 30 minutes, pretty good. You're really in this for the long haul, yeah? Well, it doesn't impress me. This isn't hard to do. It's just waiting. Anyone can wait. 45 minutes, you're almost done. I'd give you some words of encouragement, but I really just don't care. At all. Doesn't matter to me if you make it or not. You're not important to me.
Seriously, for f***'s sake, don't make us wait a whole hour. Bounty Hunter, please, for f***'s sake, I'm begging you, just find another way out of here.
Okay, good work. You waited an hour. Whoop-de-doo. Congratulations on having resolve. We are so proud of you for being able to wait and do nothing for an hour. Just sit on your ass for 60 minutes? What an achievement. Kudos to you. Hope you felt like that was worth your time. Hope you and your ass got some enjoyment out of that. Anyway, here we go. Door opening now. Hello again. If you're seeing this video, it means the door got stuck. So we're sending a guy to fix it. He'll be there in a week or whatever, when he's available. Just sit tight. There's enough air in there, I promise. But there isn't enough food, so enjoy starving to death. Here's some TV in the meantime.
So after waiting for the full hour, the door will break, meaning you have to use the vent that you could have used before. Meaning that you just wasted an hour of your life and got literally nothing for it. Another video game detail that requires patience to find can be heard in Wario World. You see, when you pause the game, you're greeted by the pleasant tones of Wario himself. Okay, so that's pretty annoying. Well, if you listen to this excruciating sound for 50 whole minutes, this will happen. So after 50 minutes, Wario will finally say sorry and not sing again. Well, he won't sing again until you unpause and pause again, where he'll be right back at it. Now, if there was a blank spot in my Easter egg or hidden detail knowledge, it's in VR games. I'm definitely going to try and correct that, but some games appreciate that not everyone wants to be jumping around like a madman just to play. And that's why sometimes developers release non-VR versions of VR games. One such game is Waltz of the Wizard, which lets you do unspeakable things to a skeleton head, like throwing him out of the window so that he sings 80s pop songs.
Ah! No, no, don't throw me! Don't throw me! Ah, we're gonna give you up! We're gonna let you down!
Well, despite playing the non-VR version, I was able to move Scully any way that I like, and in any way that he definitely doesn't like.
What's going on? Great, now I feel all warm and fuzzy. Awkward. The last one to kiss my forehead was my mom. What are you, my fairy godmother? I knew you liked me.
So bringing Scully close to your face will cause a kissing sound to be heard. I mean, it's probably best that I recorded this on the non-VR version because this would have looked really weird in VR. Now earlier I said that NPCs mainly exist to look busy. Now the main job of an NPC is to look busy. See, I did say that. Well, it's not only NPCs that can make a game world feel lived in. The humble knife and fork can play a part too. When exploring the Enclave base, you can find a cafeteria, which as far as post-apocalyptic cafeterias go, is pretty normal looking. However, there is one big flaw in this canteen that's going to cost the Enclave thousands of caps. You see, the floor is grated, which means there are plenty of gaps for things to fall into. things like knives and forks. Underneath the cafeteria floor, you can indeed find a whole bunch of knives and forks that have fell through the floor. I'm guessing this is one of those details that someone thought of, but never in a million years would have guessed that anyone would ever notice. So in-game chat can be a great way to communicate with teammates, but it can be also used to communicate with your opponents. Well, in Stick Fight the Game, you can use the in-game chat to do just that. But if you do try to be mean, the game won't let you. As far as censorship goes, it's pretty clever. So that's it. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like. It helps more than you might think. If you're a fan of Easter eggs and secrets in games, then perhaps consider subscribing. And if you want some subs to game with, then scan the QR code on screen now. Anyway, thank you all for watching, and I'll speak to you all soon.